Howdy peeps, and welcome back to what I believe is going to be part 8 possibly of the build series on the Tamiya SU76. Excuse me while I just plug in the overhead light again so we can see a bit better what's going on, as it's a fairly dingy, nasty day outside, so there's not a huge amount of light coming in the window. Where do we get to last time? Well, as I've not touched it for quite a while, I've forgotten myself. Oh, excuse me. So we were in the process of putting the tracks together. We don't need that anymore. Why is that at a weird angle? I don't know. There's something, hang on, let's see if we can sort that out for you. Oh, just moving the camera mount around a little, try and get things a bit squarer. There we go. The camera mount's been getting a bit sloppy lately. I'm going to have to do something about it. Anyway, where do we get to? Well, we'd had one side which I'd already got done. The main hull, which we got most of the little fiddly bits on the lower part, all the fighting compartment assembled. And we had the top run of tracks done, which was, I believe, probably still sitting on the jig when last we convened. Yeah, they were. But as you can see, taking them off the jig, and they have a nice set of sag to them. Well, you'll be able to see if I bring them a bit closer. There we go. Oh, as we can see, set to go around the various wheels, or return rollers, sorry. And we had the odd links set separately, ready to be glued. And I haven't actually glued them. I really haven't done anything to this for quite a few days, if not getting on for a week now. So I'm just going to reacquaint myself with what's going on. The shorter section goes to the back, the longer section goes to the front. And yep, with the 3 prongs to the front, righty ho. So let's try to find things again now. I tidied up my bench yesterday, so now I'm having trouble finding tools and bits and pieces. I'll just check this is get a little glue flying first so we don't end up with a massive splooge of it all over the tracks. And we just add, again as last time, to every link. Now I know some people don't like individual link tracks because it's something that does put people off armour. I can kind of understand it if you're used to building planes. It is a lot of parts to deal with. Heck, if you use 172 or 148 even, sometimes single prop planes, you'll probably find that just the tracks from some model tanks, even if they're just single piece indie links like these, will actually have more parts to them than the entire plane kit would have. So it's kind of understandable. I can see where people are coming from with that, but to me, I like sticking stuff together. Don't find a little bit more extra assembly hard work or off-putting. And I'm trying not to bash the camera with my leg. So because it's not a proper camera mount, it's kind of bodged up out of, it's mounted on a fishing seat box and is actually a rod rest that is aimed up into the sky and across rather than that way, and that way it's going that way and that way. So it's not the most stable thing, and with a camera hanging off the end of it, which weighs quite a bit, it's yeah, I'm gonna get some things and jam in the holes just to tighten stuff up a little. Anyway, so we've got our trackies glued. They're going to be a few minutes before they're ready. So we'll move bits out of the way, make ourselves some space, because I'm a bit all over the place here at the moment. If I move the cutting mat a little, move that a little. Right, here we go. So while we're waiting for those, we can pop the fenders together, maybe get the tools etc. on the upper hull. Won't put the fenders on yet until we've done the tracks, just because that will make life easier. Trying to manhandle the tracks together with the fenders in place is quite tricky. So we want B16 and B4, which is this one. Oh, where'd my clippers go? Yeah, I have been tidying up. All my tools have been tidied away. At this point yesterday, the bench was completely clear and spotless. And then I started painting. I started doing some painting on the Warhammer or Games Workshop Vermin Lord. Honking Great Rat Demon-y thing. And yeah, before I knew it, I had 20 odd bottles of paint out on the bench. There is a good reason, well in my book anyway, good reason for leaving them out and not putting them away. And oh god, I've got to shimmy forwards, get stuff into shot. Yeah, but not putting them away is that when it comes to doing more painting on it, because that's mainly what it is, it's just painting. The assembly doesn't exactly take long on a Games Workshop figure. If I leave the paints out, I'll remember which ones I used and for what. If I put them all away, I'll forget what I used and have no end of headaches trying to remember. Did I use Agrax Earth shade for that, or did I use brown wash or flesh wash, or God knows what. So it's not something I build often or regularly, but I enjoy building and painting and putting together. Again, much like with the Bandai kits, the Gundam or the Star Wars stuff, they just make a nice break. It's something completely different. It's mainly all brush painting. Is obviously the larger parts, priming it, and I think I did all the skin base coated with an airbrush, but so the rest of it is all brush painted. And yeah, it's just a different thing to do. And it's still modelling, and it's not technically, well, it's 1/56 scale, so technically it's a scale model. It's just, you know, fantasy. It's not real. It's just a different mindset, different skill set, different techniques, and I find it enjoyable from time to time. I wouldn't necessarily want to have to sit and paint a whole army, especially not Skaven. So that would be thousands of brown, or maybe not thousands, but hundreds of little rat men to paint, and that would soon start to grind. I'll pop this together and I'll show you what we're up to with him, just while we're waiting on the glue to go off a little on these tracks. Right, and that one, what? It's going to be that way around, isn't it? Yeah. Again, being Tamiya, I am actually gluing the supports etc. on because I trust that they will fit. If it was something more along the lines of a trumpeter, or I would probably glue the fender on and then glue the support in, just in case it didn't fit. Anyway, quick butchers of what I've been up to on this here rat demon. As you can see, there's a lot of detail on them. And so it's mainly all brush painted washes and shades and all sorts. All the fur's got to be done yet. That's just base coated in a dark brown and given a brown wash. And the head with his rather impressive set of horns, and he has been, I've no idea how many coats of different washes and shades are on those horns to get the colour transition. I think it's about 20. It's certainly a lot, let's put it that way. So when you consider he's in 28mm or 156 scale, so a normal human would be about that kind of height. You see, imagine, it just shows how big that thing would be and how unrealistic it actually is. Right, so we've given this a little chance to dry. It will balance, so we pop the wheels on. Now this bit is probably going to be awkward to actually do in shot. There's a lot of fudging about and manhandling with tracks to try and get them to all line up and meet up and go where they should do. Oh, which does remind me I need the long one from the bottom. Especially with say smaller tracks like this, get your hands in the way. Well, I'll try not to, but I can pretty much guarantee my paws will get in the way and you won't be able to see anything. But hey ho, I think figuring out how to attach a few bits of track together is well inside most people's remit. So let's just tidy this up. Nothing on that side. Careful we don't sand it back too far and destroy any detail. Making sure we sand the... Oh yeah, I'm doing this all out of shot again, aren't I? Close enough. Close enough for government work. Or good enough for the girls I go out with is the other saying, I think. So we want right, oh, here's where it gets awkward because I want to do it on the side so you can see what I'm doing. So it'll be that's the wrong way around. It's got to be alright, so we pop that on the jig. But to line up the low points, so I'm going to have to sit there or right back there, which I'm going to go with that. It does mean we got one weird angle at the back, but we can see it. Soon re-soften and bend that one. Just like that. So I think we may have a minor issue here where something's gone a bit awry. Nothing too serious to fix, just perhaps the different perhaps the two jigs are different left to right and I used the wrong one. Could well be the case. So the longer run goes at the front, so if we peel that up, hoping it's not completely stuck down to the tape as it's been on there a good few days. There we go. Trying desperately to keep this all in shot, but it's proving a little tricky, especially I keep looking up to see where I am. Just add a bit of glue onto there. Hold that for a couple of seconds until the extra thin starts to take. There we go. And reposition, so we're about there. And rotate the drive sprocket. And we're definitely short a couple of links at that end. So let's have a look at the back end. We may have to transfer a couple of links from the back to the front to make it fit. Again, this might just be me not paying close enough attention to the instructions. Usually is the case. I just wanted to use the jigs and stuff because they're there. Normally I wouldn't bother. I'd just stick it all together and then figure it out as I went. Or make it up in just sections of 25 or 30 links at a time. Start like there and just run my way around. Right. As you can see, getting everything to hook together and stay hooked together is a bit of a pig. Is the way it's lining up like that. I'll stay on there. It's not quite right, so I reckon if I take two links off of the back section, which while we do it before the glue has had a chance to completely set, and add them to the front section. I think that is actually my head causing most of the shadows at the moment. Wish it was a bit brighter outside. Make life a lot easier. Anyway, so we just plenty of tap and add the two extra links on. them nice and straight. Generally makes life easier if you can do that. And this would also be easier if we had the poly caps for the wheels, but given how small the wheels are and how small the spindles are, poly caps might have been a bit tricky to mould. So now again we re-aim up the tracks, refit into the front sprocket, which is going to be somewhere around there-ish they want to go. Come on. It's got that end. It's got that end. Now comes the tricky bit of getting the big long flat section to stay in the middle. And that's not actually going to be too bad, I don't think. Well, he says right, that's that end. I say normally I wouldn't do this all in one go. I would glue a couple of bits together and then a couple of more bits and let bits set as I went, and end up with a solid set of tracks. But yeah, does look a bit weird. I think I have got them either the wrong way around on the jig. Probably have actually, but we're near enough. There or thereabouts. It should be just about stuck. The trick is to hold that steady. Move that around. And glue that joint. Then hold that for a little while until that all sets up. Well, partially sets at least. And when it comes to actually installing the tracks on the model, once we're done and painted, I will glue the top run down so that they don't pop up. And yes, I put the glue on the wrong track link, didn't I? Which is why my fingers are stuck. Right, there we go. Stay. Right, carefully. I'll pop that over there out of the way with something in the front of it just in case it decides it's going to tip up. Now we can lose the measuring stick. And the tape. Yay! Right. Most awkward and annoying bit done, tracks. Well, I will leave any more of the bits actually go onto the main hull for now to let the tracks set up fully. before I start messing about with that. Which means we can get back on with the, if you remember back to whichever part it was, we put the main gun parts together. If I can find them in the box somewhere. That would be embarrassing if I lost those. Here we go. Ta-da! So, D3 and 4. Ooh. Excuse me, a bit yawny, it's a bit early in the morning. Well, it isn't really, but yeah. Haven't quite woken up yet. So those two, and where did that last little oh, where do you go? Where do you go? There he is. There. Polycap. Right, so let's get these sanded off. Stuck on. Or stuck together, I should say, not stuck on. And see where we are time wise. Again, trying to keep to around about half an hour. It seems a sensible length of video. Okay. And I've also got other things to be doing as well today, so no, not just painting. And this one would be easier to go with a knife. Again, health and safety, don't cut towards yourself. Right, so we have D3 with the poly cap in. Main gun goes in there. So you're paying attention to the instructions and things go where they're supposed to. Right. And oh, there's one I missed cleaning up. And again with these parts, once the glue's set up, I'll give them a sand to get rid of any seams that are still visible. Maybe a little filler if it's necessary, but I doubt it. The joints look pretty good to me. And a lot of this gun mechanism is actually hidden behind a big shroud, so it's not too big of an issue. I think it was pretty much the same gun that was on the T-34-76s. Just obviously on something a lot smaller and easier to hide and more manoeuvrable. So there we go. We're up to the 30 minutes again. So hope if you're building along, as I say, let me know how you're getting on. See if we're finding similar problems, or if anything I'm finding you're then being able to avoid because forewarned, forearmed. And I shall see you again for the next part, in which the tracks will all be done and we will basically just be ploughing on with the gun assembly. Well, and putting the rest of the bits on the upper hull and the fenders on. And once we've got the gun assembly done, it's just little ancillary odds and sods to go on then. And we'll be into the painting, which is where things will get very interesting, as I try and figure out how to airbrush on camera. Might not be able to do it set up like this because the airbrush will be very loud, so I might have to waggle things about and move the camera to somewhere else so I can get a bit more room and not risk spraying the camera green. Anyway, enjoy your modelling, have fun, peace out, rock on, and bye bye.